Well, they don't know that. The other place, yeah, yeah, the other place, so they just let us know sure the slots. But if there may be an idea, well, let's go on a sidewalk. Let's open that farm, I don't believe that the Phil's requires.
salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing while Councilwoman View leads us in prayer.
God of peace and hope, be with us and guide us tonight as we make decisions that affect the lives of many. Raise us up and point us toward a better tomorrow. Grant that we may both perceive and know what things we ought to do and receive grace and power to fulfill what is expected of us. Please bless our nation when Donald Trump is inaugurated tomorrow as our 45th president, and help to unite the people of our great country under his leadership. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing. Brigantine just lost a great friend of mine and a great brigantiner. His name was Lou Monticello. I grew up with him, loved him, and a great fight. So I'd like to have a moment of silence for him and his family. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen and Andy. Councilman Sarah will not be joining us this evening. He's a little under the weather. There's a lot of things going around this time of year.
Could be the brown bottle flu.
No.
Just to advise, the meeting notices covering this meeting have been sent and posted as required under the Open Public Meetings Act. We opened our meeting at 5 o'clock, and we had an executive session that lasted until 6. And as we always do, our solicitor will comment on the topics that were discussed in executive session.
In executive session, the mayor and city council discussed matters of personnel and contract negotiations. In regard to personnel, the council discussed the appointment of various committees to serve the city of Brigantine. In regard to contract negotiations, council discussed certain professional service contracts to be issued by the city for 2017. As to both of those matters, additional information will be made available to the public this evening when council considers appropriate motions and resolutions making those appropriate appointments. Also, as a matter of personnel, the manager reported to council in regard to some potential retirements by city employees. Additional information will be made available if and when such retirements actually move forward. Council also discussed a current contractual relation with ACIA, whereby ACIA is providing some resources in regard to redevelopment matters. No decisions were made in regard to this situation and those discussions. However, the City Council will be meeting with representatives of ACIA in regard to this in the not-too-distant future, at which time additional information may be available.
Thank you, Mr. Cerny. Okay. At this time, we have the honor of recognizing the students from the Brigantine North Middle School who have won the Elks Essay Contest, and we attended their award ceremony at the Elks. Councilwoman View and Councilman Simpson and I attended the ceremony, and we thought it would be, Councilwoman View suggested that it would be an honor to have them come here to City Council and to have the 8th grade winners read their essays so that we can all hear what our young people have to say on the topic of Americanism, and this year's topic, the importance of voting. So we want to recognize all the students who won, and I believe it's grades 6th through 8th, 5th through 8th. So we have students representing those grade levels, and our 8th grade students will be reading their essays here tonight. So first I want to call up the students by name and recognize them here before City Council, and then I'll ask our 8th grade students at that time to read their essays. So at this time, I'd like to call up Emily Gresham.
Emily's good friend Kayla's going to
Oh, okay.
was just going to say, that's not Emily.
Kara Grable, stay
Why
right
don't you
here.
wait right there.
Kara Grable. Nina Levica. Nicholas Sarno. Great job, man. Dylan Lang. And Aaron Baldwin. If we could give them a round of applause. If I could impose on our Director of Public Works to move the microphone over, we're going to ask our eighth grade students to begin reading. And I think, Kara, do you have a letter from, can you move that over? Okay. Oh, hold on a second, we're going to get you a microphone. We won't be able to hear you at home.
Especially if you're going to use Mayor Gunther. What's his name out there?
Mr. Larry DiGiovanni, Mayor Gunther and members of City Council, due to a previously scheduled speaking arrangement, I regret that I cannot attend the ceremony awarding our 6 students this evening. I do want to thank you for taking the time to pay tribute to our 6 winners of the Brigantine Elks Essay Contest with the topic, Why is it important to vote? We are proud of all 6 students who won and will now advance to the regional competition through the state. Once again, my sincere thanks, Larry DiGiovanni, Contest Supervisor.
So, since you were, Kara, why don't you start? Do you want to read your essay?
Why it is important to vote. Every U.S. citizen has the right to vote, and when given the opportunity, it should be taken advantage of. By voting, you are participating in being a U.S. citizen. Each person has the right to express his or her own opinion. It is also important to vote in person in elections because every vote counts and can make a big difference. If you choose to vote, you are making a difference in keeping our government strong and running. Citizens have the ability to decide who represents them in local, country, state, and federal government, including presidency. When an individual turns 18, they can cast their first ballot on Election Day, which is the most basic action in democratic society. Enough voices in a community can elect someone to office, or even change the course of our government. Voting is a very meaningful right in our society. By voting, you are making your voice heard and registering your opinion on how you think the government should operate. Large amounts of American citizens choose not to vote, but many people lost their lives in 1776 when fighting for our independence and our freedom to vote. After fighting for our independence, we are now able to make our own laws. Some people do not see the advantage we have as U.S. citizens to vote. People feel that their vote doesn't count. They are too busy, or is it too difficult to register to vote? Today, a person's vote can influence policies which direct affect their lives. For example, taxes, healthcare, education, and social programs. In conclusion, I feel that everybody should take advantage of their rights to vote so that their views can be represented. Thank you.
Great job. Nina, do you want to?
Why it is important to vote. As an American, we have the right to vote for our country's officials such as mayor, governor, president, etc., but it wasn't always this way. Voting is important because we fought to get it. The 19th Amendment says that women have the right to vote and was passed in 1920, and women were fighting for many years to get their voices heard in the elections. Before, only men were allowed to vote. Voting is important because the Founding Fathers died for our freedom. By voting, it's a way to show that we don't take what our Founding Fathers did for granted. Voting is important because not many countries have the ability to vote for their leaders. America is a democracy, which means that our opinion matters and to who we want to run our country, and we should use that to our advantage because some countries don't have a choice for who their leader is. Voting is important because it has an impact on your life and what you want. If you don't vote, then you're just saying that you don't really care what impact you want your life to have, whether it be good or bad. Voting is important because you're an American. Don't take these rights for granted, because somewhere out there is a country scared of their leader and their voice isn't heard. But as Americans, we have that voice, so be strong and use it. Thank you.
Great job. And Kayla standing in for Emily.
Why is it important to vote? The purpose of my research will be to explain why is it important to vote. The system of American people having the right to vote has been around for generations, as the 15th Amendment grants voting rights to citizens regardless of race. To vote is to prove that Americans do not discriminate against others who are different than most. As stated by Lyndon B. Johnson, 36th President of the United States, the vote is the most powerful instrument ever devised by man for breaking down injustice and destroying the terrible walls which imprison men because they are different from the other men. If we, the people, did not have the opportunity to vote, our country would be run by an atrocious, disagreeable dictator. Voting is having a say. As stated in a recent article, your vote is your voice. When we vote, we are actually telling elected officials and lawmakers how we feel about our education, safety, social security, healthcare, and other important issues. Voting gives us a say that could change a city, town, state, or country. We vote on who we think would make the best leader. No matter what position, that one person is the one that most think would be the best choice. It is your decision on whether you would like to vote or not, but if you are given the right, you should take it to your advantage. Not many countries are given this choice of voting or not. Countries that may not believe in giving the rights to people who are not as powerful as these rulers. An online article says, if I'm an American and Americans vote, then the act of voting is an expression of who I am. Thank you.
We want to thank, first of all, Mr. DiGiovanni for taking on this contest, and all of the students who are here for going above and beyond. They did the extra work. This is not part of their assignments each and every day. They did this as an extra assignment, and they did an incredible job. And once again, I think you make all of us proud, and I know your parents who are here this evening, you need to be thanked as well because you gave them a little extra push to do that extra assignment, I'm sure. So congratulations to each and every one of you, and the younger students are here. They'll probably be back in the future to read their essays, I'm sure, but we wanted to recognize you and congratulate you on your accomplishment and reminding all of us about the importance of voting and the importance of being an American. Great job. We can take about a 5-minute recess if you want to, parents want to come up and get some pictures without us in them. Come on up. Okay, need a motion to resume the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving into our agenda, we have the approval of the council meeting minutes of 1/4/17 and the executive session minutes of 12/21/16. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second. Any additions or deletions to the minutes? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes to the, I abstained from the executive session from 12:21 and yes for the other.
Haney,
Same stipulation, yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next, the approval of payroll, requisition list, and operating expenses. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Abstain from 02995, and yes to all others.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, we have at this time public comment on agenda items only. Anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item, please step forward, use the microphone, and state your name and address for the record. Mr. Pucci.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. John Pucci, 100 Sheridan Square. And in case of any of you don't know, that's up on the Upper East Side in Ward 2. Just two quick things. Isn't it wonderful to open our meeting with the kids? I think that's wonderful. I think we should do it every meeting. And just real quick, lastly, the calendar dates. I've heard that we used to have a state of the city address. I know Atlantic City does it, the county does it, all the way up. And I would just ask if the council thinks that that's a good idea, and if they would consider that and get some positive
Yes. I'm actually working on
ideas.
that right now, John. I have, we're getting the end of the year reports from all the departments, and
Thank you.
thank you. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, any other public comment on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move into our agenda. We have ordinance number 1 of 2017, introduction amending Chapter 284 of the Code of the City of Brigantine for vehicles and traffic. And there we go. Whereas the City of Brigantine has rules and regulations for vehicles and traffic in the city, and whereas the City of Brigantine seeks to provide safe passage and proper traffic flow throughout the streets of the city, and whereas the ordinance is to implement changes to achieve a better traffic flow and a safer traffic pattern for the city, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council that the following section shall be amended as follows. Lafayette Boulevard, Section B of this ordinance, Caverly Drive is southerly intersection with West Shore Drive. A stop intersection shall be added and a stop sign on the intersection of Lafayette Boulevard and Caverly Drive. We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, and I forgot that we're deleting one too. 14th Street South on the north side, we're deleting the prohibition on no parking from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. on the Ocean Avenue to the bulkhead. Okay, we've had a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion on this ordinance?
No, I'll make my comments when I vote.
Okay.
Mayor, if I could, essentially, there's three main parts to this ordinance. The first is the four-way stop sign at Lafayette and Caverly, as you mentioned. Second part is the cleanup from several years ago. There's a stop sign at the intersection of Revere and Atlantic Brigantine Boulevard right by the CVS. It used to be a yield sign. It is currently a stop sign. The ordinance, the proposed amendment addresses that in this ordinance. And then, as you said, the third part is the no parking on 14th Street South between Ocean Avenue and the beach.
Will there be a yield sign put back there?
No, so what we're doing is updating the ordinance to be, to state that there's a stop sign. It's a stop intersection now.
Okay, all right, so
Yes.
it will still be a stop. I got you.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Well, I would like to say something. The four-way stop at Caverly and Lafayette is extremely overdue. It was one of my campaign promises when I was in the first ward councilman down there. There's a lot of buses, a lot of people getting off, a lot of kids getting off their, off the school buses and everything like that. And, you know, I know we're not supposed to use stop signs to slow down traffic, but I think this will help from dogs or kids or anybody, God forbid, runs out on Lafayette Boulevard. It's just a great thing. Finally, we're getting it done. We have, me and the city manager, and when he was an engineer, went back and forth with this. And I'm totally excited about it, and I apologize to the people in Lafayette not getting it done sooner.
I too have heard many, many complaints and had many requests to have something done in that stretch, the 400, 500 block of Lafayette. And I've worked with Chief Bennett. They've had the sign, the electronic sign out there, and it slows people down. They've had police officers giving tickets, but it's still, it's a freeway there, and it's necessary.
The concern really stems from a safety perspective. Mainly the children that are walking or biking to school.
Right.
That intersection has some site limitations, especially on the Caverly side. The chief of the police department went out there with his crew and made a recommendation that for the safety of the children, for pedestrian and bike safety predominantly, that this is their recommendation, and I support that recommendation.
And once again, I want to thank city manager, formerly city engineer, Councilman Simpson, for working on this along with Councilwoman Bew and our police chief here. And you're right, in the angle of those streets, and that happens a lot in sections of the golf course, how the intersections come together creates an issue for site site distance in that area. So that makes total sense for that area. And that, you know, the safety in terms of walking and biking as well. I think it makes complete sense to have that on Lafayette. We did have, years ago, we had different configuration, as you know, and sometimes when you change one thing, it creates another issue. So this seems to be the most logical way to develop the safety pattern that we need in that area. Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
I'd like to thank Chief Bennett and his crew and everything to making this happen, and John Doring can get out there as soon as the ground thaws. Thank you very much. Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, we move to Resolution 2017-2, the temporary budget. Whereas New Jersey statutes provides that where any contract commitment or payments are to be made prior to the final adoption of the 2017 budget, a temporary appropriation shall be for the purposes of the amount required in the manner and time therein provided. And whereas the date of this resolution is within the first 30 days of 2017, and total appropriations resolution may not exceed 26 1/4% of the total appropriations of the 2016 budget, exclusive of any appropriations made for interest and debt redemption charges, capital improvements, and public assistance, which amounts to $8,067,612.73. Now therefore be resolved that the following temporary budget appropriations in the amount of $7,674,640.78 be made by certified copy of this resolution transmitted to the Chief Financial Officer of the city. Can I have a motion second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, next, we have our temporary debt service budget, which is Resolution 2017-3, a temporary debt service budget. And this is total debt is listed as $6,178,950.98. Can we have a motion second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-4, the cash management plan. This is a resolution pursuant to state statute authorizing the cash management plan. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ed or Roxanne, is this basically the same as the management plan we've had in the past?
Yeah, it's the same. I went through a revamp last year for the cash management plan, and I don't anticipate that our objectives are really going to be any different.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-5, the council meeting dates for 2017. We have a list of meeting dates. Be it further resolved that all meetings will begin at 5 o'clock p.m. with an executive session, and then at 6 for the public portion unless otherwise noted. Could I have a motion and second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-6 is designating the official banks within the city of Brigantine. Could I have a motion and second, please?
Make a motion.
Second.
Is it banks or bank?
Banks. For the deposit of municipal funds in the city of Brigantine for the calendar year. And it's bank or savings and loan providing evidence of participation under the Government Unit Deposit Act. So it could change
Here we get another bank.
if we get another bank. Okay. Had a motion and second. Any further discussion?
I'll make
Seeing
that
none-
motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-7, designating the official newspapers for the city of Brigantine, Beachcomber News, the Atlantic City Press, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Next, we have award of professional service contract for the municipal attorney. And that would be Mr. Fred Cerny from Parker McKay. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Wait, no discussion? We don't get to say nice things about Fred? Well, yes, of course.
Simpson,
I don't know about this one. I noted last year, right?
You did.
I don't think it got any better. Okay, yeah, he's okay this year. Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-9, award of professional service contract for the conflict municipal attorney. And that would be Mr. William Gasparo. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-10, award of professional service contract for Labor Council. And that would be Grucio, Pepper, DeSanto, and Ruth. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-11, award of professional service contract for bond counsel. And that would be Fleischman and Daniels Law Firm. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-12, award of professional service contract for municipal auditor, and that would be Ford, Scott and Associates. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-13, award of contract for municipal prosecutor to William Reynolds Esquire. We have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-14, award of professional service contract for conflict prosecutor Brian E. Rumpf, P.C. We have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-15, award of contract, professional service contract for public defender, the Steiner Law Office, P.C.
I'll
We have a
make-
motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-17, award of professional, 16 rather, award of professional service contract for the planner and grant consultant, Jim Rotala Associates. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Can we have any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-17, award of professional service contract for risk management consultant, Syracusa Kaufman. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, who made that motion?
Any?
Karen made the motion. I second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-18, award of professional service contract for consulting engineers. And this would be Mazer Consulting, Dixon Associates, Mott McDonald, Roberts Engineering Group, CME Associates, Marathon Engineering and Environmental, Remington Vernick. We have a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just, I would note for the record that although we call it an award of contract, these aren't actually being awarded. These are a pool of engineers to whom contracts may be awarded through the year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-19, award of professional service contract for health insurance brokerage services, and that's Innovative Risk Solutions. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Any
Second.
discussion? Seeing none, could we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-20 is award of professional service contract for municipal finance advisor to Phoenix Advisors. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-21, award of professional service contract for continuing disclosure agent, Phoenix Advisors. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Motion. Oh, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-22 is authorizing the city to enter into a cooperative pricing agreement. And this is with the Cranford Police Cooperative Pricing System. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-23, award of contract for police and fire uniforms. This is awarded to Action Uniform Company LLC for police and fire uniforms. Could I have a motion, a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ed, from our discussion, my understanding is that we put this one out to bid and we just got the one response?
That is correct.
Thanks.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-24 is the renewal of the Smile Factory license. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-25 is a construction permit refund in the amount of $207.20 to Solar City, as well as the next one,
26.
so we can combine the two. If we could
Right,
have
we're going to combine these, okay?
25
wanna
and
wake you up over
26.
there.
We could have a motion, a second to combine.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now if we could have a vote on the motion to approve the combined resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-27 is a real estate tax refund for Block 1301, Lot 7. We have a motion and a second, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-28 is the CER, our CER refunds. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, we are going to, at this time, item 37, we have appointment of members to the Planning Board, the Recreation Commission, the Golf Course Committee, Clean Communities, the Municipal Alliance, Cultural Arts Commission, Economic Development and Tourism and Special Events Advisory Commission. We are not going to make appointments tonight to the Beach Committee or the Green Team, as we have asked our solicitor to develop an ordinance for both of those committees, as they were done by resolution setting up the committee. So he's changing of the code to provide those committees within the code of the City of Brigantine, as they are long-standing. Beach Committee is longer standing than the Green Team, but to provide those provisions so that those commissions are set up with voting members going forward. So those committees will carry over until such time as we appoint new members. So at this time, Lynn, if you wouldn't mind taking over, I think you have the list
Okay,
from the executive session.
for the planning board, class 1 would be Philip Gunther, class 2, Tim Daly, class 3, Andy Simpson, class 4, Joy Herndon, another class 4, Frank Alberti, and then for the alternates, alternate number 1 will be Maria Sacco Handel, alternate number 2 will be Chaser Gaffney, alternate number 3 will be Angelo Sciarra, and alternate number 4 will be Ralph Palatucci.
Okay, can we have a motion and a second, please?
Make a motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
The Recreation Commission?
Paul Amapatano, Frank Burbridge, Chris Campitelli, Ed Fitzgerald, Bob Gargiulio, Bill Hoffman Sr., John Johnson, Paul Kabala, John Livesey, Mike Stinson, Dennis Haney, Tony Wilson, and Joe Urbanus.
Okay, could we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Could we have roll call?
Did somebody second that? I'm
I
sorry.
will. Second.
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yeah.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the Golf Course Committee?
Karen View, Andy Simpson is chair, Steve Cardesco, Ray Mott, John Sabini, Scott Rote, and Steve Duff.
We have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Am I allowed to?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are we missing John Savini? Did you say?
She said.
Yes, she said,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Clean Communities?
Joe Campitelli, co-chair, John Doring, co-chair, Charlie Miller, Frank DeAngelis, John Pucci, all as voting members.
We have a motion, I'm sorry.
Do you want me to read the non-voting members? or-
Sure.
Non-voting members, Bill Hopp, Guido Battaglini, Jim Calley, Vince Sarah, Armin Bud Paglione, Ann Phelps, Khalid Islam, Bill Varnish, Jerry Cali, and Don Marandino.
Thank you, Lynn. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please. Could we have roll call?
View?
Yes.
View?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Simpson?
John Doring's on there?
Yes, he is. As co-chair.
Okay. Yes.
Mayor Gunther?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Municipal Alliance?
John Livesey, coordinator. John DiMatteo, chair. A representative from the police department, a representative from the school. Paul Robinson, Ann Phelps, Irene Brodsky, Alice Hopp, Veronica Mackey, John Scotland, Andy Grossman, Dawn Jones, William Hoff, John Gans, Andrew Simpson, and Rosie Culleney as a junior member who will be a non-voting member.
Okay, could we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
The Cultural Arts Commission?
Mary DeMarco, Chair, Linda Kangemi, Joanne Milnes, Jane Ann Hart, Pamela Carchidi, Robert Kearns, Mike Reardon, Linda Salas, Grace Franzoy, Madeline Harvey, Mary Jane Kelso, Connie Pyatt, and Patricia Cosgrove.
Okay, could we have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion?
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
And last but not least tonight, the Economic Development, Tourism, and Special Events Advisory Commission.
Okay, these are staggered terms, but they need to reappoint Paul Busco Jr. For a 2-year term, Paul Tomlin appointed for a 2-year term, Linda, no, these are 3-year terms. The first time they were 2-year terms. Okay, I'm sorry. Paul Busco Jr., 3-year term, Paul Tomlin, 3-year term, Linda Camerata, 3-year term, and Mike Reardon will fill the unexpired term of Mike Brennan.
Okay, could we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, we move to our consent agenda. We have the Kappa Sigma Fraternity Polar Bear Plunge request and the Elks raffle licenses 798 through 801. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, at this time we move to our council manager committee discussions. Ed, you want to talk about the Army Corps beach replenishment update?
I do, thank you, Mayor. John Doring and I met with the Army Corps and the DEP yesterday. We met to discuss the next beach replenishment. It will not be a full cycle renourishment, but it is a 500,000 cubic yard replenishment that is basically due for 2 coastal storm events that were declared emergencies, and we were able to document the loss from those emergencies. So the schedule, this was the initial kickoff meeting, so it's just beginning the design phase for the project. So the Army Corps anticipates that construction will begin in the fall. No chance to have it constructed prior to this summer. So it will be constructed in the fall, winter of next year. I'll keep you posted as we get more information, but 500,000 cubic yards, and should be no cost to the city, and it looks like the schedule will be in the fall.
And Ed, the scope would be from 14th Street to, is there a feeder zone down below? Or
That's all part of what we discussed yesterday and still to be determined in the design. Our request, obviously, is to focus the effort down at the seawall, down on the north end. When they do, their next step is to send their survey crew out and get the topographic information of where the beach stands now, and then they'll fit in 500 cubic yards up to that design template, the original design template. There may be, and I asked the DEP to pursue this, there may be an opportunity for us to do a cost share with the DEP for some additional sand. We've done it in the past. It gets a little bit complicated, but in the Army Corps' plan, they do not do the full feeder beach north of the seawall. So in all of the beach fills that the Army Corps has constructed, the addition of that feeder beach was a cost share between us and the DEP. So I asked that the DEP pursue that conversation with the Army Corps to find out whether or not that can be included. This is a little bit different because this is FCEE money. It's the emergency money from the loss attributed to the two coastal events. So we'll keep you posted as that design continues. Our next meeting will be prior to the summer, sometime April or May.
Great.
Also, Mayor, the Fire Chief, Platt, would like to bring some good news of an initiative that the fire department has taken on. Chief.
Thank you, Ed. I just want to report that starting next Friday, January 27th, the fire department will be at the CER from 10 to 10:30 in the morning. And this is going to be something that's going to take place every Friday. The last Friday of every month. We're going to start with that. And we're going to have two guys down there with the table set up, some banners, handing out information about our Knox Box program, our File Life, fire prevention stuff, anything that we have, brochures to hand out. And we're going to be doing blood pressure screenings for that 30 minutes. And the plan is, there's no, a lot of people don't know what their blood pressure is, and they just take it for granted. They go to the doctors once a year, once every 5 years, whatever it is. This is an opportunity to just sit down, meet with the guys. They'll take your blood pressure. We have a little card that we'll fill out with your name. We'll put the date and the blood pressure reading. And then, you can come back into the firehouse anytime you want, bring the card, and we'll keep it updated. And, and it's a way for somebody to maybe not go to the doctor to get their blood pressure taken because they don't want to, take a cab or take a bus or get a ride or whatever it is, and they'll have the opportunity for us to do it. And, of course, if there's a certain level that it's obtained, if it's a really high reading or something that we feel that requires transportation, then we will advise, like, hey, this blood pressure is out of the normal limits, and I mean, beyond the normal range, then, we'll treat and take them to the hospital if we have to. So this is just a way for us to get out into the public, get the public to meet the firefighters, who they are, and an opportunity to get their blood pressure taken. And again, we're going to start it last Friday of every month at CER from 10 to 10:30 in the morning, and then we'll go from there, and we're going to build off of this. So we'll start there and see how it goes.
Great. It's a great initiative. And your firefighter EMTs have been in the past doing CPR classes as well, correct?
Yes, we have, and we all just got recertified in CPR last week, and our EMT instructors, Zach Lyelli and Tim Daly, have been working with the teachers at the school to get those teachers certified in CPR as well. So, and then they hold the public classes a few times a year as well.
Good.
So yeah, we do keep busy with the teaching. And we have the AED program where we're up to 12 AEDs now around the city in various locations. They're all clearly marked. And, it's very important that, members of the public, call 911, but if it's a location where there's an AED, to get right on it. And obviously that training, that CPR class will be able to help, increase the chances of survival.
Tiger, do you still have those little red things that you had several years ago?
Yeah, it's the File of Life.
Where they could list all their medications
Yep.
and leave it right on the refrigerator?
And we'll be handing those
I
out.
think that's such a great idea.
That is a great program. The late Chief Hull started that program, and it's a card that's it's a little plastic sleeve with a magnet on it, and the people can fill it out, give all their information, put their history, their medicine, anything they got going on, allergies, contact information.
They put it right on their fridge. If we come to the house and the person's unable to give us any direction, if they're unconscious or whatever, our guys know to go check the fridge. If it's a stainless steel fridge, tape it up on there if it won't stick. And we've used them in the past, and it's a great tool. We grab that card, and we have everything we need right there. We don't have to try to track down family members to find out what's, what kind of ailment does this person have. And obviously, if we know, this person has a history of high blood pressure or cardiovascular disease, we know the direction to, because we do have the cardiac cath lab right out of Mainland. We do go to Mainland now. Years past, we didn't go to Mainland that often, but that is an amazing cardiac cath lab that we have right out in Galloway, and we do take people there when the call warrants it. So yes, we do. And we will be handing those out, and we have them in the firehouse too, so
Great.
anybody's more than welcome to stop in, and our guys will give them to them.
Yeah, they were really great.
It was a
Yeah.
great thing that Jim did for us.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Ed, any council members have any committee reports? Probably too early in the year for that. Committees have not met yet. At this time, I'll open the meeting up for public comment. If anyone has any issue they would like to bring forward to City Council, please step forward, state your name and address, and please use the microphone. Yes, Mrs. Phillips.
Ann H. Phillips, 308 27th Street. 3 topics on behalf of the Taxpayers Association. Number 1, this concerns the recent upgrade in the city's bond rating, which is, of course, good. What was it before it is being AA? I believe a written explanation accompanies such a change, and what does it say? There seems to be a pattern since Margate's rating also just rose from AA- to AA, and possibly Ventnor's, which was, when I called, still AA-. So I don't know what the process is with Standard & Poor in terms of dealing, with barrier island municipalities, and possibly this is something that was done in a group since Brigantine came out, and then Margate, and possibly Ventnor, so all being the same. So it would be interesting to know how it's done and what in particular applies for the upgrade. I know they have 5 factors which they use to determine that, and it would be interesting to know what they are pointing out in terms of making the upgrade. So do you know what the rating was before this recent upgrade?
A plus.
Pardon me?
It went up, it was A plus, went to AA, so it went up 2 levels.
Okay, so it went from, they're 2 layers higher, and now we are AA plus, and before that it was just AA?
AA.
It was a AA+, and we are, I'm sorry, it was an A+,
to
and we are now a AA stable. So we went past AA-.
So you went up
and-
2?
That's correct.
Yes.
2, okay.
Correct.
And Ed, I know you were on the conference call with the auditor. Do you want to explain some of those factors that were?
I'm wishing Roxanne had stayed.
Yeah, she stayed.
So we received the report from Standard & Poor's, and they outlined really their methodology in determining the upgrade. Essentially, if I recall, it was the way we handle our debt, so the quick payments and reducing our debt, the stabilization of our budget. It complemented our financial team and our financial records, and it recognized the growth in our values and our long-term capital planning. They're the ones that stick out in my mind, Mayor. But like I said, we have the report, and they outlined it, I think, very clearly why they felt the need for an upgrade and why it went up to 2 levels.
That would be good to have the public be aware of what was in that report as to why it was upgraded. And are you doing a manager state of why the mayor does the state of the city? I know you gave a report last year concerning.
When I introduce my manager's budget, I'll likely have something Along those lines. It's tough to follow the mayor's state of the city, so.
But that, I think it would be good to put that in the manager's report, or maybe the manager,
And
the
absolutely.
mayor
Absolutely.
should have that.
And I don't know if that report can be
Yeah, I'll look to see if I can get that
summarized to the
out.
point where it can.
That's right. I may take that summary page and put it.
Right,
out.
that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
You take that one page that puts it all together and perhaps,
It's a very good story.
Yeah, put it on the
I'd be
website
happy
if
to
we have-
share it, for sure.
No, public should be aware of this, and most of
Absolutely.
us are not, so that would be good. Okay, 2, council has some unfinished business from last year concerning the use of private money for public use. I believe a report recommending changes in accountability and method was to be discussed by council. Why isn't this on the agenda?
I think Mr. Stinson and Mr. Cerny have been working on some issues. And, once again, we had discussion about this last year, and I want to be very careful to say that the groups that are, the recreation-oriented groups that are receiving city funds, they have not done anything improper. We have, once, the amount of money that has been allocated to them is accounted for from the city of Brigantine. There's a reimbursement system that is used. So the money that they've been given, they have actually submitted requisitions, and those requisitions are paid, or they've submitted receipts, and those items are paid by the city of Brigantine.
However,
If there is a way to improve a process, we certainly will look at improving it.
well, I think that was the process. You were looking to do that, and also there were questions about constitutionality and so on. So I
Right.
think this should be discussed and resolved, and at this point, it still seems to be hanging. So if Mr. Cerny has a report, then why wouldn't council discuss it?
Well, I don't think Mr. Cerny has a report at this time. I don't know where you are with that, Fred.
We're working our way through it, Mayor. There's a few of the organizations that are going through the nonprofit, the 501c, or whatever that process is. I've also asked our insurance consultant to price out a umbrella insurance policy that would cover all of these sports as a way to be more efficient and more economical, to be honest with you. So we are working towards it. It is not forgotten. I don't think it's broken, but I think there's things we can do to improve the process, and we're looking at those, and we'll be back to council as soon as we have things in order.
So we could say there's no problem as it is right now, but if we can improve it, we want to improve it.
We would like to improve if we
I
can.
agree with that.
Just out of curiosity, is the Taxpayers Association a 501c3?
No, we are registered with the Department of State as a nonprofit. We are not a 501c3.
What does $20 dues include, if you're a member of the Taxpayers Association, if you don't mind me
It
asking?
pays for our expenses, such as printing ads, columns, not letters, of course, but any advertisement in the paper. It pays for newsletters, it pays for stamps, and any expenses that we have which pertain to fulfilling our mission.
Yeah.
If you'd like to join, we'd be happy to have you.
Well, thanks for the invitation very much. How many members will we have in the Taxpayers Association at the time?
Well, at the
if you don't
moment, I
mind me
can't give
asking?
you a precise figure, but you are welcome to join if that's you'd like to participate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, number 3. What's the timetable for the 2017 budget, and when will it be available to the public, which of course is our key issue here? Also, the question of public availability applies also to the new police contract, which I'm assuming is being worked on. Again, public availability. So we'd appreciate what you foresee for the budget
I'll
and the
answer for
contract.
the budget timeline. Ed, I would imagine you're going to have something to us. In February, and then we'll go through our process. We have the option of self-review again, so we will not have to worry about the state returning the budget to us. So I don't anticipate the budget process taking that long this year. I think we have some very good indicators of where things are going. So it will be to us in February, and then we'll begin our deliberations and get it done as quickly as possible.
And when will the public be able to see?
I
When
would
you-
imagine when Ed gives us that document, It is a
put-
working budget.
That's correct. We'll put that manager's budget on the website.
Right, so it will
After
be
I
available as
present.
soon as we discuss it here, you'll have it as well, Mrs. Phillips. The other issue, as you've asked before, and I think our solicitor has commented on this before about,
Contracts,
yeah,
yes.
collective bargaining agreements, once they are ratified, they are public.
Yeah, I understand that, but again, just in repetition, because this is a crucial issue. Once council votes on it, it's too late for the public to have any say in it. Before you vote is when the public should know what's in it. Now, how can that be arranged?
I don't know that it can be arranged, Mrs. Phillips. I don't know of any public body that negotiates in public. I think they negotiate, you elect us.
Before you vote on it. In other
Right.
words, this isn't a process of being involved, a third party in the negotiations. I appreciate that. But you and the manager represent the public in these negotiations, and the public just gets closed out. You vote on it, and we don't know what's in it until it's done.
Well-
That's not right.
Once again, would
That's
not
the
we
law.
create a situation where if you start debating with the bargaining unit and with city council in public about the terms of an agreement that is not agreed to yet, it has not been ratified, isn't that negotiating in public?
Well, I would appreciate also, if there's law on this, it would be good for the public to be aware of what that law is, and nobody has ever cited that law. Because we still have the problem of you vote on it, and then we're stuck with it.
Well, doesn't the public vote for the council members to vote on the issues such as contracts for the
Yes,
police,
you
fire
are
department, public works?
representative, that's correct, but the
Right.
public is still out there. It's not
Right.
closed, this
Oh,
should be
I
public
agree 100%.
information.
I agree 100%, but,
Yeah.
And nobody's been able to cite to us exactly what law prevents the public from knowing this before you vote on it, because then it's too late. And we're stuck with it for a period of 3 years if we find problems in it. And that's why we keep
You
bringing
have,
this
you have
up.
to have a little faith, Mrs. Phillips.
Pardon me?
You have to have a little faith
Well,
No.
in your elected officials.
No, in terms of scrutiny, you were up there, the public has a right to scrutinize and to ask
Right.
questions.
The collective bargaining is a different process than us doing an ordinance or anything here at a public meeting. It is a different process.
Yeah, but nobody's ever been able to tell us what the law says precisely, because I
Sir,
know,
You have the law on the top of your head that allows.
With your new haircut.
If we're talking about do we have the law, at our fingertips in terms of research memorandums, the answer is no. In terms of the concept is the same concept we have discussed in past years. That when you have a negotiation going on, you are not going to disclose the contents of that negotiation while you are in the midst of the negotiation. It would raise issues of unfair labor practices and things of that nature. That's not simply my opinion. It is the same opinion that we have reached in consultation with your labor attorney. If council wants a broader memorandum on this, then give some direction, probably at first blush to the Labor Council, so you can have a fuller answer if you want a fuller answer. But I'm pretty confident that the answer is going to parallel what I am giving to you in summary form.
Mr. Cerny, you've been doing this for quite a few years. Do you know of any public body that does it any differently than we do?
If I can rephrase that slightly differently, Mayor, to strike at the heart of this thing, do I know of a public body that goes into negotiations and in the midst of negotiations comes out and discusses the negotiations with their public? No, sir, I do not.
no, I'm talking about when you get that contract, the negotiations are finished. Before you vote on it, we should be able to see what's in it.
This is what I said last year, and let's be a little more precise than we've been so far. Mrs. Phillips is right. When that contract has been negotiated by our manager and our other professionals and is put before council, that's an up or down vote by us. We're not negotiating. We don't have the authority at that point to negotiate anything further with that union. And in practice, we sit up here and we discuss at some length. Depends on the contract, exactly what length and what matter, or what level of detail, but we discuss the particulars of that contract. All that Mrs. Phillips has asked for in the past, and I agreed with her then, I still agree with her, is that once we reach the point where the negotiations are completed, and I'd also point out, and those of you who have been involved in labor negotiations know this, when it comes to us It's been approved. It's been ratified by the membership. They are giving us an agreement which they say, if you vote for this, we've already accepted it, we'll have a deal. So we don't get it until they're done. We don't get it until the negotiations are done. We being council, have the actual document, the actual agreement that we're going to be asked to vote yes or no on. We discuss various aspects of it, but not to negotiate it, not to change it, but simply to reach the conclusion, individually and collectively, is going to be a yes or no vote. So, in that context, once that's come to us, why could the public not have that same document that we're about to be discussing? And they can put their 2 cents in, whatever they think, is a good thing or a bad thing in the contract, but in the end, we don't change any of that. It's just a yes or no vote.
And you
Okay.
still have council who has based on that discussion, could decide to vote no or raise issues of its own, which you should be. You're the one approving this.
Yeah, I agree with you also, Mrs. Phillips. Would you happen to have the list of the last contract of the things that you disagree with or that you didn't approve? Maybe
I
you or
put
Rick,
them in
maybe
the
Rick has it?
paper. A few weeks ago, we put a full-page ad in the Beachcomber News, and that, paying for that, when we always put at the bottom, paying for by, because that's one of the expenses that your dues cover. And we listed some areas, because we have the contract, went through it, and listed the areas where we think there should be more discussion and consideration in terms of what is fair to the taxpayer, and the fact that, I'm quoting now from Mr. Levinson, the county executive. He made 2 points not too long ago. The fairness to the taxpayer by the conditions of these contracts. Are they affordable? And government should not be one of its prime functions being an employer. And I am quoting Dennis Levinson.
Right, but I don't think he was specifically talking about.
And he was
having-
specifically talking about public sector contracts, yes.
but what is he-
And we raised those in that ad. If
Was
you
he
need-
talking about the issue of giving out the contract prior to voting on it?
You have a completed document when it comes to you, as far as agreement between the manager and the union. Why
Right.
can't the public
Well,
see that?
The
You
mana-
might have
the
copies
manager-
here.
The manager only comes into a situation where he has a memorandum of agreement with the consent of council during the process. So he's coming through the process, talking to council in executive session about where he is in that process. And then when he negotiates that, it comes back to this body for a final
That's
vote.
correct, and before you vote on it, we would like to see what's in it. We're not
And Mrs.
negotiating,
Phillips,
we're not
once
a
again, I'll
third
defer
party.
to I'll defer to our labor council and to our solicitor.
But he's interpreting from the point of view of the taxpayers actually being a third party. We're not talking about that.
I'd just like to say, that full-page article that you put in the paper a few weeks ago, there was a lot of items, there was a few items in there that were debatable, and,
It's come right from the contract.
and then second of all, we just had our bond rating increased from 2 steps from good financial responsibility, which is how you get it, and excellent cost control, so.
Right, but they don't go
I think
into the
we're doing a
detail
pretty
of
good
what's
job.
in your contracts. I think there are points in there which do not affect
But
the
Ms. Phillips,
efficiency.
we understand your position on the contracts.
Well,
Thank
okay,
you.
I hope you do, because I think it's in fairness to the public, and that's something that you mentioned, has any other public body considered this? Yes, a couple of years ago, there was one down in Cape May County. In fact, the press had an article on it. I tried to get a follow-up on it, and I didn't get a reply. I don't know what happened down there. But this is something that, you think this is just something that's automatic, and the public is left out of the process.
I can tell you it's not automatic.
Well, at any rate, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips. Okay, any other public comment? Yes, John?
Okay.
John?
Mayor and City Council, thank you for the reappointment to the Clean Communities Committee. I enjoy working with Mr. Doreen and Mr. Capanella, and will add as much as I can this year during that one-year term. Also, the the initiative by the fire department with going down the community center for the public with the blood pressure testing and the education. I think that's a perfect item to again be included in our newly developing community calendar.
It's a work in progress.
And let me say, I don't think this full-time resident taxpayer, I don't feel that I'm getting stuck with anything, that I'm getting stuck with any negotiated contract. What I do feel is that I'm getting stuck with the finest police department and fire department that I've gotten to know and that I've ever seen. And lastly, I'd like to say that as a full-time resident and one that regularly attends these meetings, with the current department heads you have put in place, with the fire chief, the police chief, with our city clerk and our city manager, I have a sense of buoyancy, of being steady on course as she goes. And that I wish this entire council fair winds and following seas this upcoming year. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to end the public portion. Are there any council comments?
I'd just like to say something about the snowstorm we had 2 weekends ago. And I was out on Saturday afternoon, later in the day, when we had about 5 or 6 inches at that time. So all I want to do is really compliment Public Works, the police department, the fire department. I got a chance, I stopped in the firehouse, being a new councilman, to see the operation, and I was really, really impressed with the extra things that you do during a snowstorm like that in case of emergency, EMT response with the four-wheel drive lead vehicle, the plows if that need be. So once again, I just want to compliment all 3 departments. It was on an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I should have brought that up as well. The way Public Works responds, the way they are prepared and how they are organized in the plowing, the processes that they put in place, I think they do an excellent job.
While we're on that subject, I'm well familiar between Public Works and the fire and police departments and the emergency management things that they go through in these storms. It's excellent. We do a great job. Just a little shout out to the Presbyterian Church has they do the snow shoveling programs. That all the children get out there and they shovel. It's just a lot of the senior citizens and other people, they just contribute money, and these children go out and shovel for nothing. They go out there and they really work hard, and I think it's just a great thing for our community to build character for our kids, and I give them a great sense of community service. It helps prevent injuries with people maybe getting out of their homes and just wanting to get to wherever they got to go. A lot of these people have handicapped ramps and things like. I've been out there with some of the kids in the past doing that, and it's a great thing.
And John, probably the strongest indicator you did a good job is that no one was here tonight telling you didn't. Because we have had that in the past. But in all seriousness, it really, it was a strange event, and I think you did a good job of managing that, and also, being cost conscious in the process too, with police and fire, working with the city manager, and we appreciate the effort. Okay, if there's no other business before council, need a motion to adjourn?
Well, I would like to ask if I could change my vote on Mr. Cerny over here. I'm voting no. You didn't know that? You didn't know that law right off the top of his head? Unbelievable. The haircut was too close.
With that said, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Once again, I want to thank everyone for attending tonight's meeting. Congratulate the Elks Americanism essay winners on a fine job. and thank all of you who tuned in at home to watch your council at work. Have a good evening.